Yo, what's good, everybody? I've got quarantined EDC in the house all the way from Instagram. He works at a retail location for Fjallraven or
Fjall.
Fjallraven?
Fjall. Yeah.
Yeah. But pretty cool
Here.
outdoor store, right? Like, can you explain exactly
Yeah.
like what they got going on there?
Sure. So I'll do the TikTok thing. I don't speak for the
Yeah.
brand or the company.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it started in the 60s as an outdoor apparel company in Sweden. And then in 1970, they were asked by the Swedish government to design a backpack for the school children, and they came up with this guy, and I'm sure you've
Wow.
seen one around,
Yeah, yeah, I've been seeing
yeah,
them everywhere.
everywhere. Yeah. So it's a square backpack, and that is for sustainability reasons. So when they're cutting out the prints of them, they can be right next to each other, so there's no material wasted, which is kind of cool. But
Wow.
yeah, that's what made the company famous. But we also sell like pants, jackets. Specifically, our pants are the best outdoor pants that I've ever worn. They're fantastic. Yeah, they're like
So
far and
are they
above the
what are they
stuff that I
for
want.
exactly? Like hunting or like hiking
Sure,
or
I can get you kind of for anything. So
nice.
if you work construction, I sell to a lot of construction workers actually. But if you hunt, I can get you there. If you rock
Mhm.
climb, I can get you there. But specifically kind of think Sweden. So what are you
Mhm.
doing in Sweden? A lot of our main thing is kind of like long range trekking. So
Yeah.
trekking pants and doing things like that. But any season, I got you. Like the pants I'm wearing now are the Vita Pros,
Yeah.
Vita Pro ventilated. So these are a cotton poly blend covered with beeswax to help keep them water resistant. They have a
What?
panel of yeah, they have a panel of stretch material through the
Yeah.
crotch so I don't rip them out, and then two vents on the thighs. So if I'm walking a lot, I can open those bad boys up and
That's that
cool
Swedish
off.
magic, yo. You know what I'm saying?
It's pretty
Um,
great.
no, what's crazy is like I was in an Instagram like chat group, right? And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
um a law enforcement guy was in there and then he was showing his boots, right? And I was like, oh man, I have baits too. I have baits delta
Oh
8.
yeah,
And they were like, why do you have that? And I'm like, bro, do you know how brutal New York City winter is?
yeah,
It's
dude, baits are
fucking
awesome. I have
crazy
my bear over
because
there, dude.
in New York City winter, you can have like 4 seasons in one day. It could be sunny, then it snows, then it starts raining, and then you
Yeah.
gotta have like I mean, living here, I've been here since 1987. I've been through so many blizzards and stuff. Like
Oh
when I
yeah.
finally decided like I'm gonna spend money on some boots that are gonna be 100% waterproof, Gore-Tex, I just had an easier time, and now I'm kind of just like whatever with winter, you know. But that's interesting, man.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll hop over there before it gets cold because it's a
Definitely.
coming.
Definitely too, man. Yeah, no, we'll help you out. Yeah, I got my pair of baits over there. I
Yeah,
love them, and like,
yeah.
um, it's
Which ones you got?
definitely. I think the eights.
Yeah, the
They
eights
were
are pretty.
tan.
Yeah,
They were
they're pretty
tan and
good,
on
man.
sale, so I was
Hmm.
pretty stoked about that. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But the baits number 8.
yeah.
Um, but I mean, they. I mean, I had. It's actually funny. I had a pair of Oakleys. Like,
Hmm.
I first started working, and I was like, I have a job now. I want to get a good pair of boots, and I bought a pair of Oakleys, and I ripped them out in one season. Like I
Yeah.
destroyed those pairs of
Hmm.
boots, and then I was literally at like a Dunham's or a Dick's Sporting Goods or something like that, and I found baits number 8, and I picked them up for like, oh God, not much. Like
Yeah, like maybe
and
like one
yeah,
something, like
yeah, it was
100, something
not
like
much.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like $100 or something like that, where the Oakleys were, 200
So
or something like
much
that.
money.
So much money, and like I got like 3 or 4 years
Yeah.
in those boots, and like they're
Yeah,
fine.
right. Me
Like
too.
like they're fine.
They've survived
Like
so many New York City winters, and when it's like snowing like crazy, and when we have slush and stuff like that, I'm wearing them like every day. They're
yeah,
so comfortable too. You know what I mean?
totally.
It's like I wish I could wear them like sometimes in the summer, you know, but then it's like too hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But yeah, they're
that's
so
the
comfy, man. I love it.
that's the big difference I feel between. I grew up in Wisconsin, but like between Wisconsin and New York is in Wisconsin, there's not much foot traffic or anything like that. So you do just have snow, but
Hmm.
like the amount of black slush that's here, and it's just like
Oh, dude.
and I'm like, yeah. And then the streets are it's just a river.
Hmm.
I go to school, my school's like right on Broadway. So there's so much just traffic right up and down Broadway that I'm like, good God, there's just so much slush up and down. Yeah.
And some of those puddles like go so deep. It's just like a
Yeah,
big hole in the ground, and you think like it's just a small one, and then your entire like leg goes
yeah.
inside.
I had to buy a whole new pair of pants one time because I
Hmm.
stepped into one of those on Canal Street, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I have to change pants. This is too much. Like, yeah.
How long have you been in New York City, man?
Since 2018. So yeah, not
2018.
far. Yeah.
How is what's your experience like so far? Pre-COVID
Um,
and during COVID.
so pre-COVID, I mean, I go to school 4 days a week, and then I work at Fjallraven, the other three, or yeah. So I go to school Monday through Thursday, and then I work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But
Hmm.
like the times that you get to, I'm like going out with friends, going to bars and stuff like
Hmm.
that. I love Brooklyn here,
Yeah.
and then
Oh,
actually
so
my
you're in
school's in,
BK then?
yeah, I live in Crown
Cool.
Heights.
All right, cool.
Um, but yeah, my school is in Fidei District, and I
Okay.
work in Soho. But like, I think Fidei District is underrated for bars. There's a lot of cool like
Yeah.
little bars and stuff down there. But yeah,
Hmm.
no, I had a good time. But then, like I said, I'm in the theater business and stuff like that too. So now during COVID, like my roommate left.
Oh
All of
shit.
my friends that were like in like they're like, all right, see ya, and like just peaced out.
Damn, so like
So I'm
everyone
like,
dipped out?
yeah, a lot of our
Whoa.
friends. I'm married, so me and my wife, like a lot of our like friends, just like done.
Damn.
Yeah. So like a
That's
lot of the people I go
crazy.
to school with are still here, but like
Mhm.
not a lot of people like stuck around.
Oh,
But
cheers to you, by the way, my friend. What are
yeah,
you drinking
absolutely.
tonight?
I got hooked on this stuff. It's not a great whiskey, but it's
Okay.
it's a good whiskey.
Yeah.
It's called Bird Dog.
Oh, is it good?
Uh,
I'm gonna
it's fine.
try that.
It's fine. Like,
Dude, I'm cheap as fuck, man. I
yeah.
got an
Oh,
apartment in
dude,
the
this
Bronx,
is
so I buy like
this
Makers or
is
Knob Creek. That's what I buy. You
oh,
know what I
this
mean?
is this is on. You're gonna be paying less than Makers,
Yeah.
but I prefer it to Makers
Oh
personally.
shit. I gotta try
Um,
that Bird Dog.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's always a flavored whiskey. They do sell
Hmm.
just a straight bourbon, but
Hmm.
the peach is what made them famous. And I've been
Yep.
like running through the flavors. So I'm on maple now because it's fall.
Yeah.
So
That sounds
you know,
delicious, man. Dude, one of the perks of having a knife channel like during this whole quarantine stuff is I've made a lot of homies just making unboxings and people sending me stuff. And I have this one dude, shout out to me with knives, who sends me like whiskey. It's
that's
the
awesome.
best,
That's
bro.
the best thing.
It's so
What?
great. Yeah, I love it, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny. Like I've been on YouTube for about 3 years, and I've mentioned this so many times. People are probably tired of hearing it, but I was in the same class of YouTubers like JT's Knife Life, Zach Stuff, Stasa, much
Hmm.
bigger channels than me. But like I didn't really start to pop till right now when I started the podcast, and
Dude,
yeah, it's just
yeah,
yeah, like now I'm starting to see
uh,
like the fruits of my labor or
when
whatever.
Ben shared that TikTok, I was like,
Oh,
who is this
dude.
guy, man? I love
Oh, thanks,
Ben so
man.
much, and I was
Yeah.
like that is how all of us are feeling, and I was like, that's
I
it right
know,
there.
right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a podcast with them. You know what? You just reminded me. I've been scheduling like podcasts like crazy for this month because I'm just I try to
Yeah.
stack them up as much as I can, and then I'll
Hmm.
take like a long break where I don't do them for like maybe a week or two, right? And
Yeah.
I'm supposed to check back with Ben around like mid-October, early
Nice.
November is when we can do one. But it'll be crazy to have him on, bro.
That's
I
that's
think I'll be
amazing. I mean,
fanboying so hard. Like,
dude, yeah. I like going back to it about like the free whiskey and stuff like that. Like, so I
yeah.
started quarantine EDC
Mhm.
for quarantine. I was like, man, because like Fjallraven, like everybody else, I eventually got furloughed and stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
it happens. I wasn't doing anything, so I just like, let's actually, because I did like the Facebook groups and stuff for a
Yep.
long time, but I'm
Yep.
like, I actually want to set up an Instagram and like take pictures of my knives, and
Yeah.
like I was consistently doing it, and then I went back to work and I stuff like that, and I stopped posting like every day and
Mhm.
just like started going once a week. And like 3 or 4 dudes from the knife community like reached out like, "Hey man, you okay?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, like like
Dude.
they're
Yeah.
like they love their people and they like want to
Mhm.
make sure all of us are okay and shit. Like
Yeah.
it's so
Yeah.
nice. Like it's so nice.
Yeah, dude, I mean, like, it's like we don't even need GoFundMe when people get hurt because,
Yeah,
like,
no.
people just set up like raffles to help out homies that like don't have insurance and have like medical bills or like You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of that stuff going
Oh,
on.
sorry.
And one of my friends, oh man, fuck, I can't talk about this because he listens to this podcast.
Oh
but
yeah. Oh, you're
uh
good then,
but
man. You don't worry.
we basically all chipped in for a gift for this guy. He
Yeah.
like lost something, and we're trying to like replace it for him, and as
Yeah.
broke as I am, like I still threw in like a couple of dollars because I'm like, yeah, I want
Everybody
to I
does
want to
what
get
they
in on
can.
that. Yeah, and that's the thing
Yeah.
about the knife community, man. It's really weird. I love creating content. I think that is
Hmm.
that is probably even more of a hobby than knives. Even though my table is full of knives right now, but like every morning I wake up like, okay,
Everywhere.
what am I gonna make content with today? Like, I'm gonna carry this so I could bring it to the shop and do something there. I
Yeah.
have to make a TikTok. I have to do a tweet for Twitter. Like, I try to not use the same thing for every platform, which is very hard.
Yeah. I bet,
Yeah,
man.
because I have to make like 4 original pieces of content a day, and then I try to do at least maybe I try to post like 5 times a week. Yeah, on YouTube. I try it. It's
Yeah.
it's getting hard sometimes, but I take examples from like Metal Complex, who like posts multiple times a day. Oh, but
Yeah.
by the way, who do you watch on YouTube? Do you check out any knife
So
guys
I
or?
mean, like I said, Metal Complex.
Mhm.
I watch like all the Blade HQ stuff and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Best Aim EDC.
Mhm.
And then I just like one thing I did was just like follow like all just like the knife makers too. I like just try to find all the knife dudes that I can
Yeah.
find and just kind of like following them, especially like case knives. Like they just whenever
Mhm.
they put out a new series, just releases like a little trailer and stuff like
Yeah.
that. When I was really going through, I live in Brooklyn. I had to make the decision about my Leatherman, like
Yeah.
going through the actual Leatherman page and like deciding which Leatherman I was actually going to buy because I've had one Gerber for 10 years or something
Yeah.
like that. So yeah.
So what's your like brand? Like what do you like the most, So your Spyderco guy, Benchmark
Um,
man, like case,
yeah,
what is it?
yeah, no, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So I mean, my first job, like in high school and stuff like that, I worked in Wisconsin. I repaired and fixed airsoft guns.
Oh, that's
So I
dope. That's cool.
Yeah, so I called myself an airsmith, but I worked at an airsoft store in Wisconsin, and we got licensed to sell Gerber knives
Okay,
for a
cool,
long
cool.
time. So in high school, I just started picking up Gerber knives, and like
Mhm.
my first what I consider everyday carry knife was the Gerber Instant
Yeah,
here, and I snapped the pocket clip off, but
yeah.
and it's
You
it's
still have it,
de-assisted.
huh?
Yeah, it's
Oh shit.
it's de-assisted, but yeah, this is like the first one that I consider like an everyday carry knife that
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
like my Boy Scout knives and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And like that's kind of where it started. And so I bought a bunch of Gerbers, and I have Gerber multi tools and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I've
then
had
like
the which multi-tools are the one that you snap out? You know what I'm talking
yeah,
about?
so I
Yeah, I
have
had
the
that one.
where's that guy? Yeah,
Yeah, I
right here.
had that one. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That definitely got me when the year that it came out. I was like, I gotta get that shit.
yeah, no, and like so this is the fast, and like
Mhm.
it's a little bit smaller, but
Uh-huh.
man, I've done such crazy jobs with this in theater. I
Yeah.
worked as a pyrotechnician. Like this thing has done so much work for me that I'm like I can't let this go. Like it's so good, but yeah.
So like
So it started
Gerber
with
is your brand or
no, not anymore. Like I like some of the stuff that Gerber put out. The last knife I bought was the pocket square,
Mhm.
and I have a love-hate relationship. Like I like the look of it, but it's
Mhm.
way too damn heavy. It's just too
Yeah.
heavy. Um, so after that, I went to CRKT.
Yeah.
I saw a dude carrying an M16, and I was
Mhm.
like, need to have that. And so
Yeah.
I have an M16 and an M21 sitting here, and I love those. And then I eventually bought the Pilar, and then
Oh,
they
dude, I
actually
love that.
they actually have a designer from Wisconsin, and I wanted to buy one of his knives.
Yeah.
Um, and it's called the Detective, and like I just liked the profile. It's not an expensive knife, but
Yep.
I liked it. So it was CRKT for a while, but then I was like, oh, I need to start spending more money on knives in case I want these knives to last and like
Yeah.
be good.
Yep.
And that's when it took off with. It started off with the Kershaw, but now I've got Spyderco. James Brand is a big one because I work
Yep.
at Fjallraven.
Oh yeah,
And
we definitely gonna talk about them.
yeah, I'm wearing a shirt from them on accident right
Sick.
now. But yeah, like the Folsom from them is a fantastic little blade
Yep.
for BDS one steel G10. That dope backspacer on there.
Wow, I love that pop of color.
For $100. Yeah, no, that's that's the whole reason I bought it. Just like sticking out of your pocket, and it just has that green. I'm like, yeah. So like right now, you could say it's James brand, but like there's so many other brands. But then like, so Spyderco,
Yeah.
right? I went and bought it just because when I first started posting on Facebook and stuff like that, everybody is like para 2, para 3, and
Yeah.
I'm like, what's the big deal? It doesn't look cool. I don't like it.
Same.
And so yeah, I didn't like them. I still don't necessarily. I don't know. I have no idea. But I went and bought a Tenacious just to see, and I hated it. I hated it. Like I just didn't like, and I gave it to my dad, and I was like, I don't want this anymore. But then when the Para 3 Lightweight came out, and I got that Trump check, I was like, let's try it like again.
You liked it?
And so I got the Para 3. Yeah, no, I love this knife now.
Yeah, I have
don't
one
know what
too.
it is.
It's nice, man.
It's so lightweight and like, yeah.
The action.
Every day since.
I've gotten to try like maybe 3 different kinds of Para 3s.
Yeah.
And I gotta say the action differs on every one of them that I've tried. So I had one that was heavily customized, right? It was the I think it was the Knives Ship Free one. It was the red G10 one. I tried that one.
Okay, nice.
I tried the one that you have, right? And then someone sent in one for me to keep, which was the same one that you have. But the one that someone sent in for me to keep is like way smoother. I guess it was broken in a little more. And then that one, that's when I really started to love it, man. It's really awesome. I mean, you know, Spydercos I feel like are a little bit pricey, but they're like Spydercos, so kind of like I feel like they're more justified to me than like Benchmade prices. I don't know what it is.
Agreed.
Like, yeah,
that's the one thing I'm bad on. I don't own a Benchmade right now.
Yeah.
I wanted a proper for a long time. I just haven't pulled the trigger. But
that's the slip joint, right?
Yeah, because New York City and
dude, they discontinued that, which is like what? Like, I mean,
yeah, I know Blade HQ just posted a picture somewhere of a different carbon fiber one. I'm not sure, but I don't know. That's whatever. The slip joint that you talked about yesterday, that Copenhagen man.
Oh yeah, dude. I've been carrying that for like maybe 3 days. And like this is so much fun. Like, and you could see it too. Like there are these grooves cut out on the top of the blade where that stop is gonna hit. And it's like, I mean, listen to that. What?
That's so.
It's so cool. And this is gonna be $65 on Kickstarter. 14C28 and G10. 2 different pocket clips. So if you don't like that one with a ready on it, they have a plain one.
Yeah.
It's reversible, and the way they did the pocket clip too is like so interesting. So I think this is how it goes. I haven't opened it yet, but you got a T6 right here, and I think when you take that out, it runs all the way through to the other side, and like that's what's but since it's in the G10, right? Like it's in there. You can see that it doesn't need to be screwed in really. Like it's like I can't explain it. So when I unscrew this, like it actually holds it all the way to the other side. So there's only one screw there. So
is it like that? Oh yeah, I have this.
Nice, dude. No, it's like, can you turn it to the butt of the
Oh yeah, this is the Strider solid on that. Yeah.
So you see how there's 2 holes there, right?
Yeah, I see it.
The pocket clip is gonna go in there, and then you're gonna reverse the screw head to the other side.
Interesting.
And then it just kind of like screws in, so it doesn't have to actually like I'm gonna show it in the review. I mean, I can't fully explain it because I am a total knife noob. I've only been in this hobby for about 3 years. That's how long my I've said 4 years before, but I checked like how long I've been on YouTube, and it says 3. So like I've only been.
There's a point where it amps up, you know.
Yeah, I've only been in the hobby as long as that, and I feel like I haven't learned much compared to the other guys that have been YouTubing and doing this, because I've checked out
Yeah.
so many knives, like way more than the average person, because like the pass around groups send it to me and all this stuff. And I haven't learned a lot. I'm gonna be honest. Like I haven't learned a lot, but like I am deeply embedded in the community and in the hobby as the next
Yeah.
guy. You know what I mean? It's like maybe I can't talk to you about like bearing tracks or like,
Oh, dude.
you know
Yeah,
what I
I
mean?
have no
Maybe I
idea about
can't.
that stuff.
Maybe I can't name every model either, but
Yeah.
I'm definitely like embedded into it, man. I'm like super into
Yeah.
it. You know what?
I've just started to like to do knife steels. Oh, sorry. What is it?
So
Oh,
how what's it been like working at Fjallraven and with this COVID stuff? Like is there a lot of, are you working right
oh
now
yeah.
or?
So we take everybody's temperature when they come in. We have to hand sanitize or wash our hands every 30 minutes.
Mhm.
Masks, of course. And then we wipe down the desk and stuff every 30 minutes. And the big one that has kind of been affecting us is quarantining clothes. So if like you
Whoa.
came in, yeah, if you came in and tried on a pair of pants or whatever, I then have to quarantine those pants for 4 days. Yeah.
Damn,
So if
dude.
another dude comes in and you're the only pant size, I'm like, I can't sell you them right now because they're quarantined for 4 days. Yeah.
Oh, so you got to tell them like, yo, you got to come back because
Got to come back in four
this
days.
might have like
This
Wuhan
might
bugs
have
on it.
corona,
You know what I
no
mean?
idea. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, and I mean we've run into that a few times, but I
Yeah.
mean it's
Has there been
still
any like scares at all, like at your shop?
no.
No,
No,
that's
that's
great.
the other thing that I was kind of surprised about. And like shit, I'm always wearing a mask when I'm like on the
Yeah.
train and everything like that. And it's like
Yo,
I've
what's your train life been like, by the way?
so
Yeah.
I switch I do have a switch in there at
Mhm,
Atlantic Barclays. And
mhm.
then like the 4 train's usually packed, but the queue in the end is fine usually.
Yeah.
Um and it hasn't that's the other part I've been talking about. I was like, man, I've come in contact with so many people
Yeah.
in New York City now. I'm
Yep.
like, and I know people that have had it, but I'm like,
You haven't
shit,
gotten sick yet.
we must be doing something right because
Mhm.
like I've been exposed or out
Yeah.
there,
Yep.
we went back, man, like July 4th or something like that, like early. Like we were back soon when we opened up. So I was like, shit, I've been out there. I've come in contact with probably like 100,000 people now, like just traveling
Same.
through New York City. And I'm like,
Mhm.
I don't know. I have to be doing something right with just washing my hands and wearing a mask. Like, I don't know.
I mean, look, like I fucking hate wearing masks. Like my lung collapsed when I was 23, so I actually have
Oh
like
shit.
1.5 lung. But I'm like, I wear it because one, they be giving out tickets if like a cop decides it's like $50, and like I can't
Yeah,
afford that
dude.
shit. That's a knife
I
right
can't.
there.
Yeah, man.
That's a date with a lady. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so I just I wear it, especially on the train. Sometimes I'll just like I wear these Uniqlo ones. I don't know
Oh
if you
yeah, I've
ever,
seen. Yeah, the
dude.
Uniqlo's not far from us. Yeah.
They're dope because like they've got like the triple layer airism like Japanese
Hmm.
technology. It's like really crazy. You could breathe in, but like it protects you and stuff like that. So that's what I've been rocking. But yeah, the trains have been wild, bro. Like on my way home today, so I have to take the J from Brooklyn and then transfer at
Hmm.
Chambers to the 4 train to get to the Bronx, right? And
Hmm.
like I got on a train and literally 7 people were on the phone, all speaking different languages. And then
Yeah.
one guy was like watching like I don't know, like a telenovela like on his phone, like a Spanish soap opera, like mad loud. And then I transferred to the 4 train, and like 3 different people have portable speakers and are and are listening to like their own music. And but you know that's fine. I think like I expect shit like that, but I've been noticing like an uptick in people like asking for money,
Yeah.
like
Oh, totally.
way
Yeah.
more, and they're like in your face, bro. Like they like if I'm watching a
Yeah.
movie, they'll get in my view to like
Yeah.
ask me, and I'm like I'm not down with that. Like usually when somebody has a shtick, right?
Yeah.
Like they're performing something. Like
Yeah.
if I have like some spare cash or like
Yeah.
food, like I'll give it to you.
If you
Um,
are if you are actually doing backflips on the train,
yeah.
totally. Like
Yeah, if you're doing something cool that I like, that is the transaction right there. You did something that I
mhm,
like, I'm gonna give you $1 or whatever it is, right? But like,
yeah.
dude, it's been crazy. you know?
Yeah, no, I agree,
It's
man.
been
And
crazy, like, with people, I think people just are, like, becoming homeless or, like, using more drugs. There's definitely there's a lot of people fighting the air in the subways right
yeah,
now.
I've
You know what I
seen
mean?
I've seen a lot of like I recognize like some of the homeless people in my neighborhood. And
Mhm,
for like a while, like during coronavirus, I didn't see them like out on the streets and stuff like
mhm.
that. I don't know if they were going to shelters or if the city provided something, but it was seriously like last week or the week before that suddenly like here's everybody again. And I'm like, oh, okay, it's
Yeah.
everybody's back. And it was just interesting. I'm like, all right. Yeah, I had a guy a couple days ago on the train and we're going over the Manhattan Bridge and like I just see him like step out that little door like in between the two trains and like
Mhm.
take down his mask and roll a joint and just
Yeah.
like smoke and then like get back on with the
Yeah.
joint with the mask still down. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
sorry." And he just puts his
Yeah.
mask back
Yeah.
up but then just continues to smoke the joint. And I'm
Like,
like,
in the train?
"Oh, in the train." Yeah, he was just
I
going for it.
mean,
I'm like,
you know what, like, alright, like, you wanna smoke weed, fine, but, like, at least, like, take it, out of the train
yeah,
though, because like, the air
yeah.
quality is already, you know what I
It's
mean?
already messed up. Yeah.
Do you know, like, the trick where, like, if it's rush hour and then you see an empty train car, there's probably,
Don't
like,
go on.
a really smelly dude in
Yeah.
there? Yeah,
Don't go on there.
yeah,
Yeah.
see?
Don't.
You've been here
Absolutely
long
not.
enough, yeah.
Yeah. What my aunt and uncle were visiting one time
Mhm.
and we were up by the museums and an empty train just came by and they're all like, "Let's get on." I was like, "No." Like, I'm like, I don't know. Let's not
You
go
don't know
on that
what's
one.
on there, you
I
know what
was
I
like,
mean?
I don't know what's there, yo. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not.
Yeah, exactly, man. New York City. My girl is from North Carolina. She's lived here for like
Oh,
over
nice.
8 years, and she's definitely a jaded New Yorker now. Like she just knows those kind of little tricks,
I
like that.
I still don't necessarily consider myself like a New Yorker,
So you've been here
but
about two
like
years now, right?
3 years, yeah, about three
3
years.
years.
And
I think two more, and you're gonna be pretty jaded.
yeah,
Like,
well,
yeah, you're still a really nice
s-
guy right now.
yeah. So I had been here like a couple months or whatever, and I was walking, and some dude came and almost hit me with his car.
Oh
It's New
shit.
York. It
Yeah.
was like close. It wasn't like far or whatever.
Mm,
But of course, he like flicks me off, and I
yeah.
flick him off, and so
Mm,
he like gets out the window and flicks me off. So I need to
yeah.
flick him off harder, and I threw out my arm,
Yeah.
like flicking this dude off. I'm
Oh
like, I just
shit.
I just threw out my arm, flicking a dude off. I'm like,
That's
I have to be like somewhat of a New Yorker now.
yeah.
Like,
The way you
yeah,
walk, you can really tell the way someone walks through a crowd of people if they're from New
yeah.
York or not. Because like
I've noticed.
it's like you're playing a maze game and you have to maneuver through all these people.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how you know someone has lived here long enough. Like my girl walks the same way. It's like I don't ever want to be walking behind people
No,
because like
never.
like I don't want them to think I'm following them. You know what I mean? There's a lot of that going on too. So
Yeah.
like and if
Mhm.
people are like walking behind me, like following, I want to, you know what I mean, not be, you know what I'm saying?
No,
So
I totally
definitely that
understand.
there's a
Yeah.
way. So what knives do you guys sell at Fjallraven?
Sure. So we sell three companies actually.
Yep.
So we have the James brand, which I love, and we have almost all the models for the James brand right now. I have two of my favorites sitting right in front of me.
Yeah. Are
I
they
have the
like
County.
marked up or are they online retail like price?
They're equal to online retail pretty much.
Sick, dude. Because most
So
people
like
like put a little something on top. That's sick, dude.
shit though with James brand you can't though because
Yeah.
they're already up there, so you might
Yeah.
as well. We're kind of just sticking with that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean we sell the Folsom, which I
Mhm.
love,
Yep.
and then I also this is a cool story
Mhm.
actually.
Okay.
One time we did an event where we brought in the CEO of James brand to
Oh,
like it was super cool, and he brought in his personal knife sharpener.
okay.
So this dude was the best knife sharpener I've ever seen.
He was freehanding?
He was freehanding all
Oh,
Japanese leather stuff. And
wow.
because I knew this guy was coming, I brought everything. I like Ubered to work that day. I was like, dude, you're sharpening because I knew nobody was like going to come to have their pocket knife sharpened or
Yeah,
anything like that.
and you just brought
Um,
everything.
I brought everything for this dude to sharpen, and he was like so happy about it.
Yeah,
But it was so funny. I showed up to work, and I work with all like solid New Yorker people
yeah.
with a a box full of knives, and
Yeah.
they got freaked out. They were
Yeah.
like, "What?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, I have pocket knives." They're like, "Yeah, we didn't know you had this many pocket knives." I was like, "Yeah, it's a lot of pocket knives."
Yeah.
But yeah, so I hung out with the CEO, James Brand, all day. He was a really, really nice guy, and then he gave me a county at the end of the
Oh,
day.
sick, dude.
So this
Wow.
one's the James Brand County. He's originally from Indiana. I was born in Indiana, and so you have the county line road, and then the cornfield is what it's supposed to
Wow.
represent there.
I
But
like,
yeah,
I like what they're doing, man. I've never gotten to try any of their knives, but like I'm feeling what they're doing. I like the vibe they give off. They're good at marketing. Like that gets very high marks for me. Like
yeah,
any company that's kind of
oh yeah.
like taking advantage or like maybe
Where's that?
I mean I guess taking advantage is the right word. It's like taking advantage of this like age that we're in of the internet right now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And I think
yeah,
they've done very well in that. So I
yeah. I
really like
mean,
what they're doing.
it's totally the. I remember if you watch on YouTube the Colion Noir,
Oh yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. The gun dude.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the gun dude. But
Yep.
he talked about in one of his early videos how he got when he buys a Glock or whatever, it
Mhm,
comes in a cardboard box. You know,
mhm.
if you buy a ProTech, it comes in a cardboard box. But
Yeah.
like you buy a James Brand, it comes in a wood box with a piece of felt that's a pocket holder and a nice little card that tells you
Mhm.
all the facts about the knife. And it's no matter the price. That just comes with every knife. And
Yeah.
it feels like a better and special experience with that marketing and like with that product. And it's cooler. I love
Dude,
it.
you buy a
Yeah.
Glock, it comes in a cardboard box.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
Imagine he was like,
that's a very
when you buy a Glock, it comes in a paper bag. Don't get
yeah, I know it, but it's
mad.
literally. I mean, yeah, you're definitely New York, but like out in Wisconsin, when I carry it and stuff like that, that shit comes in a cardboard box. Like, and it's
Wow.
like, I just spent $600 on this. You know, it sucks.
Yeah, in New York
But
City, I
then,
never got to experience like firearms really, but I don't
yeah,
necessarily think that I would be against like owning them. My girl is like, we don't need one and shit. And I'm like, bro, you don't know what's gonna
it's
happen.
yeah,
It's weird because I think the content that I consume the most on YouTube is like Joe Rogan, like I love hunting shows, I love hunting shit, and I watch like all the comedians. That's like what I
yeah,
consume the most. And like definitely like when I discovered Joe Rogan, I got healthier. I started working out. I started eating better.
totally,
And like I
yeah,
fucking started watching Meat Eater on Netflix. And I'm like, damn, I
dude,
want to.
yeah. The
I
meat
love
eater
Meat Eater.
guy,
Steven
meat,
Ranella. Yeah,
yeah,
I love him.
Stephen
Yeah.
Nella,
Great,
he
great.
is he's releasing all the early seasons on YouTube.
Oh, he is?
On his YouTube channel.
Oh, I gotta
So yeah,
check
he
that
like
out. I
reversed
gotta check
like
that out.
he released like the first 3 episodes in the last couple days,
Yeah.
and I've been like every lunch hour, I'm just like
Yeah.
clicking that button.
I like love
Yeah,
it because like they show you the pursuit. And then
yeah,
if he does bag something, right? He'll
shows
like
you the
cook
cook.
it. Oh,
Yeah,
that's my favorite thing.
yeah,
I'm like,
no,
oh my God, bro.
that
I
is
need
my
a
favorite.
steak
Yeah,
right now. Like, you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
that's usually how it is. But yeah, I love that show. And it's funny that I live here, but like I have a very like strong interest in that. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
like pushing myself, like I work out every day and I
dude.
definitely would love to fucking do that.
Have you been to Gotham Archery?
I've been there.
Dude, yeah,
I
man,
love it. Absolutely love it. My girl
yeah,
took me
man,
there, because like, like I was watching Cam Hanes and shit all the time.
yeah,
Yeah, and my girl took me there and I love it. Yo, I absolutely suck at it, but I love it anyway. Like we've
well,
done like 2 hours,
yeah.
every time we go there and we make it a whole thing.
Are
She
you
loves it too.
left-handed or right-handed?
I shoot like this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So
No,
yeah.
we'll go some
Right-handed,
we'll go some
right-handed, right-handed.
right-handed. Okay,
Yeah,
we'll go
right-handed.
sometime. I'll bring my bow.
Yeah.
We'll yeah, we will go
Well, I mean,
together and we'll
how do
get you there, man.
like
I'll help you. I got it. Don't worry.
we have the no, but I mean like we have the mask. Like how do are they open right now?
Oh, I
Like
don't even know. Yeah, so I haven't been there yet, but the pictures look like in between the lanes. Like
yeah.
if you're standing right here, there's just plexiglass right there.
Oh shit.
So that's yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it's I mean,
I love it,
no
man.
big deal.
I think that well, I mean, if I think about it, like I did come from the country. Like I
Yeah.
came from the Philippines and then I moved to New
Oh
York.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like I ran around like a little jungle kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
You got
I
that,
became a
man.
city.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like When people talk about like, oh yeah, like I went hiking the other day, or like I went hunting or whatever. Oh, speaking of hiking, did you see the cougar attack thing that's like been
Yeah,
all over?
dude.
Dude, what the
Oh my
fuck?
God.
That guy was on Blade
Yeah.
HQ, like
Yeah. He has a full sit
Kyle
down interview. Yeah. I
with
don't know
Zach,
if
right?
you, yeah, it was Zach. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. I also messaged Zach the other day too.
Yeah,
Not that I like personally know him or anything like that, but like I gave him a follow on his new YouTube, and I was like,
yeah.
dude, great content. I'll release it
Hmm.
on my Instagram. And he
Hmm.
sent me a message. But yeah, dude, that was nuts. And also it's just so funny. Like he works for Blade HQ and just
Yeah,
didn't have a knife. Like he
that's.
just didn't have a knife.
I
And I'm
would
like,
always have
oh
someone if
man.
I'm hiking, yo. That's just.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
mean,
not that I
like,
even I'm gonna have a chance, but
no,
like
that's the other thing too. Is like
maybe something
maybe
might happen.
like I'm
Like,
like, dude, throw this in your gym shorts. Like
yeah,
this would be fun. Like,
that was
not that
crazy.
it
He
might
thought they
not
were
help. It might help.
he thought they were bobcats and shit.
Yeah.
And then they just
It
came
was
out. He was like,
insane.
"Oh fuck, oh fuck." And you know what? Like, I'm glad
Insane.
he kept recording it too. Yeah,
Yeah, right?
if I was him, I would have been like, this may be my last moments right now, but I want all of you to see what the fuck's going on." Like,
Well, he also said he had a water bottle in his hand. I'm
yeah,
like, dude, I'm throwing that water bottle first,
yeah.
and then I'm throwing my iPhone. And then like you have to throw something at it. Yeah, no, it was insane.
Yo,
I was
that was a close call, man. That's so
yeah,
crazy. That's in Utah, right?
yeah. Oh, but the
Damn,
other
dude.
we sell two other knife brands at
Yeah, yeah,
Fjallraven.
yeah. Go back.
We
Sorry about
sell
that.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
I have
sorry. Yeah, I
ADHD,
forgot
so
I
I'm going
it
like
just clicked
this.
into my head.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
don't
All
worry.
right. What's the other
We
two?
we sell Mora.
Okay, sick.
Yeah, Mora knives. We have a couple of selections from them. They're great knives. They're just workhorses.
Yeah,
I have the Eldris in my backpack, and I just love that thing.
yeah.
And then we also sell Helle,
Hello.
Helle.
Okay.
They're a Norwegian company.
Hmm.
Use a lot of curly birch in their handle. They did collaborations with Les Stroud, Survivor
Yep.
Man.
Yep.
So we have a few of his knives, and then we sell axes as well. So
Nice.
we have
Do,
Grensonebrook axes.
what's your
Yeah.
experience like? You said you have it in your backpack. Have you ever gotten bags searched
Oh
in New York City?
no,
Like,
I like my hiking backpack and stuff
oh,
like that.
okay. Because
So
I was gonna say, bro,
yeah,
just New York
yeah.
City native tip: never keep it in your bag, because
No,
if they
yeah,
do search you, that's what they search
no.
on the subway is your bag. They don't really pat you down or anything unless you're
No.
doing something wild like harassing someone.
Search your
But
bag.
yeah, every end of
Um.
the month, I'm sure you've noticed they just have that
Oh
the
yeah.
table, they take your bag, they look
Yeah.
at that shit. Yeah, so
Yeah. No. So when I go hiking, it's a neck
mhm,
knife. So I put it on to get to the Metro North when we go
mhm.
up north to go hiking and stuff like that.
Where do you go?
Um. We've been up to Cold Spring
Yeah.
and what's the other one? It starts with a B.
How long
Um.
does that take to get up there to Cold Spring? I've never like heard of the
Just an
place.
hour.
An hour, and it's
Just
like
yeah.
just like hills and shit, or like what is it like?
Yeah, so I mean, you're hiking in the Hudson Valley, so you can actually look across the river and see West Point. So if
Cool.
you look up views from West Point, you'll
Hmm.
actually be hiking in those mountains. And the
Wow.
first hike we did is at a beacon. Beacon's the other one that we go
Hmm.
to, but they have a fire tower there, so you
Yeah.
hike up a mountain and then you go up a 4-story fire tower, so you can see
Hmm.
um, 50 miles in every direction. So you can
Wow.
actually see New York City skyline from 50 miles away.
That's dope.
It's super cool, but it's
Yeah,
only an
dude.
hour on the Metro North away.
Yeah.
It's pretty
What's the
cool.
what's
But yeah,
the ticket like the cost of the ticket to get
to get to
10
Beacon,
bucks?
$35
Okay.
round trip. So that's
And
just
then
round trip.
yep.
For
So
Cold Spring, it's $30.
okay.
Yeah.
So like how what's the mileage on the hike? Like how long is it?
It kind of depends what you're doing. Be
Yeah.
prepared to like hike like 8 or 9 miles.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
tell New
we could do
Yorkers
that
that like
for sure.
I'm like most New Yorkers, if they're walking throughout the day, they're doing like
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8 miles.
Yeah,
Like it's not a problem for most New
exactly.
Yorkers. So
Or if you've
like,
been to like fucking Comic Con or something, you've walked like 10 miles because like that's what you're doing
oh
all
yeah,
day. You're not sitting down. My
no,
girl and I like, we don't go quote unquote hiking, but then definitely we'll have days where we just walk the city like
yeah,
miles and miles just to see like places that we've never seen. And that's definitely something we've enjoyed a lot, man. And that's a cool tip. Maybe we'll do that. When's the
no,
last time
it's
you
an
went up
awesome time.
there?
Uh, about a month ago. or so.
Yeah.
I actually have another ticket that I need to use at some point. So
Yeah.
if you go, I'll just
Yeah.
go up there with you, man.
Word.
But yeah,
There are a lot of
that's
people
an
on the
awesome thing.
trail, or
There was on the weekends, but not on the weekdays.
all right.
Yeah, no, it's been pretty. I mean, I guess I've only been up there twice during
Yeah.
quarantine, but like
Fuck, I like
it's
work like 6 days a week, bro. Shout out to
yeah,
A-list
me too,
CBD.
bro. Yeah.
It's like fucking
It's
crazy.
so yeah,
Yeah,
it's
so
you
I
work
only have
so much and then the days you don't work, you're like, I just want to sleep. Like yeah.
yeah, like I only have off on Sunday. Yeah, man, like so you didn't have any scares in Fjallraven.
No, yeah.
Fjallraven?
Very good.
Um,
Fjallraven is
do
like the
people
proper,
buy a
but
lot
yeah,
of knives
Fjallraven.
there, or is it mostly like outdoor gear?
Mainly outdoor gear.
Yeah.
I sell a pocket knife usually once every 2 to 3 weeks, and usually it's like a James brand Elko, if you're
Yeah.
familiar.
Yep. What
James
is
brand
that?
Elko. It's a small knife. It's actually the exact same size as a Victorinox, as one
Okay.
of these guys, but
Yep.
just a single blade. It's a
Mhm,
chunkier blade though. But to be honest, and nothing against James brand, I love
mhm,
them. If
mhm.
you're looking to spend 50, $60 on a small knife, uh, get this one.
Which one is that? Oh, that's the Wesson?
The, the Wesson, man.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
thing
yeah.
is the
Beast.
bomb.
Beast,
This
yo.
is it's the
Beast.
same size as the Elko. It's titanium, man. The flipper is so good on it.
And it's 50,
It's
60.
just yeah, I'd have to look at it. I'd have to look at it again, but
Is that
yeah, no, it was
S35
awesome.
BN, or I forgot what
I think it's
the
CTS BD1.
oh, CTS BD1. That's cool too.
Yeah. Yeah, I
That's
mean, it's
cool
fine.
too.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah,
it's
yeah.
what it is. But I mean, it just it's so good. I love
Yeah,
this whole
and it's
thing.
like a
But
tiny knife that like flicks open pretty well.
yeah, and with the bead on it, I mean, I can grip it, and it's tiny, and if a cop sees it, I can still thumb stud it
Yeah.
open. You know.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like the cop thing is weird, man, because in New York City, like it's very people ask me like what can I carry in New York City? And I was like,
People ask me all the time.
probably nothing,
Yeah.
but it depends on the situation, right? Because if you're not gonna do anything and you have it in your pocket, you're not like wilding out, you're not bothering
Yeah.
people, there's no reason for you to get searched,
No.
right? If you get
Yeah.
into an altercation, like somebody tries to rob you and you have to take
Yeah.
your knife out, you hurt the guy or whatever, then I don't
Yeah.
know if there's any legality that's even gonna be, you know what I mean? Because once it's
No.
used for a weapon, it's like really, really
Yeah,
different.
because these aren't.
So
We're not supposed to use.
right.
It's you're not allowed to.
I mean,
It's illegal to carry a self
yeah.
defense item
Yeah,
in New York
like
City.
on fucking TikTok when they give me a guideline, like, violation, I
Oh yeah,
literally have a copy and pasted like thing to appeal it. And it's been working now. That's why I've been posting more on TikTok too.
that's good.
Where it's like these are meant to be used as everyday tools, like never to harm anyone. Like
Yeah,
I'm a YouTube content creator. This is my whole thing. I never promote that.
no,
Um, but yeah, New York City is weird for that.
yeah.
I
I
just did
mean,
a
I have
sketch.
knives.
Yeah, good.
I have knives I can't carry. You know, I just don't carry
Definitely.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you
like I
carry
can't.
usually now?
I can't carry that.
Yeah.
To be honest, I mean, ever since it came, the Wii banter, man.
Oh, the banter. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
dude. Got banter bros.
it's so good, man. It's
I love it.
and
Yeah. It's
like
just perfect for New York City too, man. It's like so
I
utilitarian
mean,
looking.
I
Like a cop is
and
not gonna
like
be like, you're gonna kill somebody with this, like.
no, and like this is he's right. The finger test is right. Like it's the perfect size knife. Like
Hmm.
it's so good, and like
Yeah, I love it.
that
Great
deep
knife.
carry pocket clip on it, man. It's
Amazing.
just
And dude, it's cut out into the G10 with recessed
right.
screws. That's
Yes,
what I like.
yes.
When people
Thank
have,
you.
all
Yeah.
right, like they either do recess screws, but then they don't cut it into the G10, so it's like sticking
No.
on top of the G10, which is like it's like a
Yeah.
cop out, it's a shortcut. Or they
No.
do, or they do the cutout, but then they
Yeah.
don't do the recess screws.
Yeah. It's something that was a pet peeve. The CRKT Polar at least has
Yeah,
a recessed pocket clip. You know,
yeah,
like
yeah,
it
yeah. I
actually
see that.
goes into there. But oh my God, yours is so good, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
this was
dude, that
modded
is.
by JT's Knife Life.
I was gonna say, I was
Like
like, that looks like,
I,
yeah,
I've kept it like it's never gonna leave the collection. Because
No.
it was funny. Like he did some mods on this Tucson for me,
Hmm.
and I gave him a knife for it. And like I never showed it on my
Nice.
YouTube, so he was like, I don't think Ray liked it, so I'm just gonna give him a Pilar
No.
for free. And then one day
Yeah.
he was like, hey bud, I'm modding a Pilar for you. And then he sent me pictures and it looked like this. And I was like, holy shit, yo.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, man.
That's
So,
that's a
it's
good
got a lot
gift.
of history with me. Let me see something. What do I got over here that I
Yeah,
can?
no, do you think?
What other brands have you checked out? You like ZTs? You like
I need to get myself a ZT. I bought a ZT in high school actually because
yeah. Which
NCIS
one?
was still going on. The 305,
The
right?
305. Is that the
It
tiger
was like the
sharpie
tiger
looking one?
stripe one. Yeah, it was the
Gotcha,
tiger stripe
gotcha.
one. Yeah, I sold it to a dude like
Yeah.
for airsoft gun parts, and I regret that.
The Airsmith, yo.
Yeah, yeah. No, I was building very expensive airsoft guns at the time, so I
Damn.
was. But I mean, I have a couple like historical pieces for me too.
Yeah.
Um, I have an original Buck 110
Cool.
with the brass on there,
Yeah.
and this is my dad bought me my first deer season. So
Wow.
when I was deer hunting and stuff like that.
Oh, so you've
But
gone
I
deer
mean,
hunting before? Have you ever like got
oh, yeah,
one or?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
what does
It's
the
been a
meat like taste like?
it's you can use beef recipes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you can use beef
I'm
recipes, but
so interested in it, bro. Like my I think it was my anniversary or my birthday, I'm not sure. One of the days that are important to my fiance. She took me
yeah.
to this restaurant called the Gentleman's Farmer. It's
Mhm.
French, but they have wild game like
Oh,
boar and
cool.
rabbit and shit. And I was like in fucking
In
heaven, man.
heaven,
Like, yeah,
man.
I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, man, about that. And
Um, you can go. It's not going to be venison, but
yeah.
at the Grand Army Plaza
Mhm.
farmers
Was
market, there's a
yeah.
there's a dude that sells duck,
Oh,
like
cool,
fresh,
cool.
and like
Yeah.
those duck breasts, man.
Yeah.
If you really want to impress your girl,
Yeah.
cooking a duck breast is like that, and like that's my favorite wild game is
It's
duck. So
duck.
that's what, yeah, it's just such a good flavored meat.
I
It's
like
so
duck.
fatty and so juicy. I love it.
Mhm. I like duck a lot.
Um, yeah. No, it's a good time. It's so cool
Uh,
that you like meat eater too. I don't meet a lot of
dude,
people inside the city
I
that like meat eater.
love Meat Eater.
So
Like
good.
whenever new seasons come out on Netflix, like I watch
I
it right
rip
away.
through it. I rip through it.
Season 9 part 1 just came out. The day that I knew about it,
Mhm.
I finished it. And I'm like, that's
Oh
it.
yeah,
There's no
yeah,
more. I'm like, fuck. I think it's like the eating aspect of it too. And like, Steve
yeah.
Granella is like so good at like writing. And
He's so
it's
good at
very
what he does.
simple what he's saying sometimes, but then he throws in some like advanced like grammar. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
For a guy that
absolutely.
speaks in this kind of like very simple tone, he's like a very smart dude and a very well written dude too. So it's
He's an
like,
educated man.
yeah, plus he's like
Yeah,
a badass hunter. I'm like, damn, I
dude,
like
he's
love this
awesome.
show so much, you know? What other
Yeah, no, I
shows do you like to check out, man? Like what are you into?
sure. I mean, we kind of just been like binging stuff lately. But I mean, I do love superhero movies.
Yep.
Like I said, I'm definitely like a movie guy. We've been
Dude,
getting through
same.
Chuck. Yeah, I love movies so much.
Mhm.
I love the art of movies.
Yeah.
I've seen you've been watching like a bunch of scary movies and stuff like during this time.
I watch horror all year round, but in
Good.
October, no, I watch everything. I like love cinema from all over the world because,
Yeah,
I just like seeing what other countries are doing. If I had to pick a country that's like straight like killing it this year is like Korea is just fucking
yeah.
crazy
South Korea
with
is
everything that they're
yeah,
making is just insane. Like it's just so like pieced together. Like
totally.
even like some of the ones that aren't so good, it's done so well. Yeah,
Yeah.
and fucking Korean people know how to cry, bro. Like on cue, it's like what
Mm,
the
yeah.
but yeah, like
No, there.
in
Parasite
October,
was a
yeah,
fantastic movie, man. Oh,
yeah,
just saying
great
Parasite,
movie.
man.
Yeah,
Parasite. Just
Parasite is great. But in October, I like to watch at least one horror a day, but then with horror, what happens to me is like I'll watch one and like there aren't a lot of big blockbuster type horror movies like Hereditary or Midsommar or something like that with a lot of money behind it. So I've been
yeah.
watching a lot of the, like B kind of movies and like almost good, but like kind of
Totally.
lacking. But then, you know, it has vision, and in October I got to watch like one movie a day. So if I look at how many I've watched right now, since October started, hold on, I have a diary of it. Because I review movies on Letterboxd. I've
Oh, cool,
watched
man.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. I've watched 17 movies since October 1st. Like,
Damn.
all
Good for you.
horror. Yo, I
Good for
watch it
you,
on the
man.
train, bro. That's why.
Oh,
So,
that's a good
yeah,
method,
like I
man. Yeah.
download it on
You
Hulu
download, yeah.
or Netflix or Prime, and then I
Nice.
just watch it on the train. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
usually what I'm doing. And slow. See, like it's different. I think I work at Ayla CBD, and it's like, you know,
Hmm.
we own it. And when it's a slow time, I can kind of like edit my videos or watch a movie or something like that. So I do have a lot of that going on. What do you
Nice.
what do you like watching?
Oh, sure, man. I mean, like, so I'm in theater school,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
like when those Oscar nominations come out, I have to get through all, like I have to watch them, you know.
Yep.
So I mean, I do like the old war movies. 1917, if you haven't seen it,
Watched it. Watched it. Great movie.
so just
Yeah, great movie.
I watched that at right before it closed, not closed, but you know, quarantined.
Yeah.
The one in Brooklyn, I forget, uh,
Uh
or but yeah, no, I got to see it on a big screen, and like
yeah.
that's the way to watch that movie. It was
Yep.
so good. But just you know, watching The Darkest Hour, I just
Yep.
finished that the other day. A movie, my wife was gone for a weekend, so I finally got to watch The Lighthouse.
Yeah. What'd you
If
think about
you
that?
haven't seen,
I watched it.
so what I tell people is like for my theater friends and
Mhm.
like my acting friends and stuff like that, I will
Mhm.
recommend it to them. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna recommend it to like my wife or my mom or like,
Yeah.
you know, I'm like, it's an artsy, it's an art movie.
Yep.
It's like it's like one of my other favorite movies is Swiss Army Man. Like
Oh
Swiss
yeah,
Army
that's a
Man is
cool ass movie.
just a
Yeah.
fantastic movie about
Mhm.
love, and like
Yep.
it's so beautiful and I love
Mhm.
it, but my mom's not gonna like that movie. Like
Yeah. You know what's
I
funny
like,
is that I gave a copy of that movie to my mom and she didn't like it too.
yeah,
She's
no,
like,
she's not
"Is
gonna
this Harry
like.
Potter?" I was like,
You don't know.
it's so
Yeah,
funny.
actually, the past week we've been,
Yeah.
my wife was in a Harry Potter field, so I
Mhm.
think we're on movie 5 right now of
Yeah.
Harry Potter. So, because you know it's Harry Potter, I love it
Yeah, yeah,
still. You know,
yeah.
it's still good. You know, it is what it is. Movies, and I still like them. Great,
What do you think
great
about
quality.
Robert Pattinson being Batman?
I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited.
I
I
was a
think
little bit weird about it.
I'm
Um,
weary, but I'm good about it. You know,
yeah, I love him in everything but Twilight. So
everything.
like
Yeah,
everything
exactly.
else,
Yeah.
I'm like this guy can act his ass off. And then after watching the trailer when it dropped, I was like, okay, I think they could do it. They could pull it off, you know?
Hmm.
Like it's darker, he's like inexperienced and like I want to see what happens, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
I also like that he didn't bulk. He
yeah,
did
he's
no
a little bit
weightlifting, no nothing for this
slimmer.
movie. He's just skinny. Like he's a little skinny dude doing this, and like I I have complete faith in him.
Mhm.
I'm pretty excited about it. I had to be out pretty late the other night, here in Queens, over in Queens, like when
Yeah,
we
yeah,
were getting
yeah.
all the rain and stuff like that. And I'm like,
Mhm.
man, I can't wait for that Batman movie. I'm like,
Like being in the rain.
like, yeah, I was like, this is
That's
gonna be
hilarious.
so fucking cool. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I love their James Gordon they got.
Mhm.
I think the Penguin's gonna be a cool villain.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that they're revisiting Riddler,
Yep.
um, and I do think he's gonna do a good job.
Mhm.
Just Twilight is the only thing that people just don't like about it, and
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
mean, and
it's
I've
gonna be
watched
fine.
those movies too, you know what I mean? It's like I just you know, I
Good for
watch so
you.
many movies. I watch so many
Yeah,
movies that like when those types of movies come in, like I kind of just have to watch it so I'll know
yeah,
what to say.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, man, like do you watch horror at all or is that not your thing?
I do, and I do, and I don't. Like when one comes around that is like like you need to see this movie, like a Parasite or a why
Hereditary?
am
Did
I
you watch that?
Hereditary. I did
Yeah,
watch Hereditary,
loved it.
and Get
Midsommar
Get
or
Out.
something. Get Out. Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
Get Out.
great
Yeah, like
one.
I'm like, if
Yeah.
it's going again, you know, very nerdy theater. I'm
Mhm.
like, if it's gonna try to win an Oscar, I need to see the movie. Like, and I
Yeah.
mean, Get Out is just,
That's a great
I
movie,
mean,
man. Great
flawless
movie.
film, and like just I remember I'm like, it was one of those movies that, like, you know, I don't usually recommend that stuff to my parents and stuff
Yeah.
like that, but I'm like, my parents have to watch this movie.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's a good one.
Yep, definitely,
It's a
man.
good
What else do you check out?
one.
Shows or anything? Watch any shows or anything like that?
Shows, I mean, like, again, I'm a hopeless millennial. I'm addicted to The Office. I love The
Yeah.
Office, but it's just always on, or Parks and Rec. But after that, I do like documentaries and stuff like that, nature
Yeah.
documentaries.
Love
It's
'em.
very similar to like the hunting aspect. I'm like, if I
Yes.
get to watch Planet Earth and see mountains and
Yeah.
bear and if I get to see that stuff, I'm thrilled about it. Like, I love that stuff.
There's this
So
movie I've been like meaning to check out on Netflix called My Octopus Teacher. And it's like
why have I've heard about
so
this?
like
Yeah.
it's about some dude that like befriends an octopus, and like apparently like after you watch this movie you'll never eat like calamari again. Like and I just like have to watch it now.
Oh, we gotta watch it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna because I'm just waiting until October break so like I could watch something else. It's like I watch so much shit, man. Like I watch anime, I watch horror, I watch sci-fi, I watch shows.
Yeah.
Because it's good to just have this stuff to talk about with people, especially when I podcast like all the time. Um, dude, what what knives are you interested in picking up? Are you like looking at anything?
Yeah. So, um, like my Blade HQ wish list is always going through stuff, and like of course working at Fjallraven, like the James Brain Carter is really sticking out to me right now. I don't own an access lock knife.
Mhm.
It looks really really good to me. That's something I want. And then like I mean there's so much. I do want another really really nice slip joint as well.
Yeah.
And that Copenhagen that you showed the other day
Dude,
was on it.
65 bones. That's it.
I know, and I'm like,
Kickstarter,
that's
65.
an easy price, you know, like
Yeah.
that's an easy price to get
Yep.
into. And I
Yep.
mean, I still have like a when they did the mini version of the bug out, I'm into that.
Yeah.
But then I still want a fox knife, sir.
Suru?
Was it Suru? Yeah,
Yeah.
I still want
Cool.
that, man.
Cool
I
knife.
love that knife.
Cool
Yeah.
knife. Have you messed with like any of the like the non-American brands like Civivi or Artisan
Yeah, I
Cutlery,
mean,
anything like that?
the Wii knife is technically like my first non-American brand,
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, I mean, CRKT like does have their stuff made overseas though. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
and I mean that stuff is I
We
like that
is
stuff
like
a lot.
proper though, dude. That's like the gold standard for like we and
When I
Ria, and it's
when
just
I
like
got that, I was like, wow, that's a fancy knife.
yeah,
Like
yep,
compared to like this M21, like
yeah.
where is this made? Is this made in the
I think
US?
it's made in China. M21, that I'm not sure because that's
I
like
can't remember.
it might be. But
I
yeah,
bought it at Sears in Wisconsin, so I don't
it's just crazy
know.
how knives now are just there's so many coming out. There's so many companies that are like doing cool shit.
You can't even follow them all. Like
No.
there's nowhere to start. Like if somebody is like, hey, can you recommend me a knife brand? I'm like like I know where to start. Like I know what I like,
Yeah.
but I don't necessarily know what rabbit hole you're gonna go down, you know?
Right.
I'm
Yeah,
like
man.
my little brother only likes beefy fixed blades. And
Oh,
like yeah, so it's hard buying him knives sometimes, you know.
yeah, I don't get fixed blades mostly because like
New
even
York.
though when it comes to legality in New York City, like you're
Yeah.
actually allowed more leeway with a fixed blade. But
Yeah.
at the same time, if I get frisked and I have a fixed blade,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean maybe a small one, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe
But still, I mean, I never carry
yeah,
this under my
like even
shirt.
a
Like I barely
CRKT
carry this knife.
minimalist, right? A CRKT minimalist that has like the
Yeah.
little knuckle impressions, right?
Hmm.
A cop might be like, "This is a weapon," and that's
Yeah.
why I really got to stay away from them.
That's
But yeah,
that was the interesting thing about working in retail too is every now and then we have a shoplifter. You know,
Mhm.
we can't do anything, but we have to call the
Yeah.
cops, and the cops come in. And I always offer when the cop comes in,
Mhm.
I started just keeping my one of my Benchmade sharpeners at
Mhm.
work. So if
Mhm.
a cop comes in and he's writing up his report, I was like, "Hey man, can I sharpen your knife?" So I'll just sharpen the cop's knife and like
Nice.
talk to this cop about knives for a while.
Yeah.
Um, but I talked to a few of them, and sometimes they don't really know either, because like
Yeah.
it like they're because I'll show them knives that I'm carrying, and they'll be like, "What would you do if I had this and you stopped me?" And he'd be like, "Oh, that one you're okay with, but I would don't like that one." And I'm like, "Why?" And he's like, "I don't like that one." And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's the attitude that they have pretty
Jesus.
much. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I'm
Like
like,
it's like
but I
that.
don't know what to do about that. Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I wish there was an actual statement, but
There is, it's basically
uh,
just don't get frisked, man. You know? Basically
yeah.
that's
And I
what it
mean,
is.
I do the safe stuff. Like on the subway, you're not allowed to have a pocket clip, but I put it in my pocket.
Me
Like
too. Me
I,
too.
yeah, every time I go on the subway. But
Mhm.
if you look at any construction worker on the subway, he has
Mhm.
a knife on him.
Yeah.
I don't carry things in my backpack. Every
Yeah.
now and then, I have this toolkit that I carry in my backpack,
Yeah.
and that it has the Gerber multi-tool, which
Yeah.
I've been told multi-tools are okay,
Yeah.
and then a Giltech.
Yeah. Oh,
Um,
that's the box cutter. But that one is the box cutter. So
Yeah, it's a box cutter, so I
yeah.
assume this is okay.
And you
But
work in retail. I mean, that's
yeah, I'm like,
makes
this should be
sense.
fine, right?
Yeah, it makes
I mean,
sense.
this,
Like, oh yeah, I work at
yeah,
Fjallraven. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, dude, what is it
Yeah.
like being on a podcast, man? Is this your first one?
No, I did another. I've done this. This is my second one. I did one
Yeah.
about two
Oh
years
shit.
ago. Yeah, so
Well, like some
you're good on
airsoft
there.
stuff or
No, it was a bunch of theater guys. Asked me they were starting a podcast about
yeah.
just fighting about random topics. They were just kind of like trying to do a commentary about people
Yeah.
always fighting about stuff. So I just came on. I was actually just talking to them the other day because we fought about, is applesauce a smoothie, and like it's kind of like, is a hot dog a sandwich type thing.
Yeah.
And then I just came back to them the other day. I was like, "Yo, is a gyro a taco? I don't know."
Oh shit. Or
Yeah, but
Peking
that
duck. Is that a burrito? Because it's like wrapped in
yeah,
a thing. Like,
exactly.
have you
I've
ever had
also
that, by the way?
Peking duck. No,
Yeah.
I've not
So
had
you
Peking
go
duck.
to Empire Szechuan has a
Okay.
it's a pretty good one. That's near the AMC like theater, the IMAX one, like the big
Okay.
one near Lincoln Center.
Yeah.
If you ever go down there, Empire Szechuan has pretty good Peking duck.
Okay. Good to know.
What they do is like they have this little so you sit at a table and then they have this little mini table that have holes in it, and then the lady makes it for you and like puts it in
Okay.
the slots, and you just have like this
Nice,
duck taco thing.
dude. Yeah,
So,
that's awesome.
being as you
I want
love
that.
duck, man. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
dude. I want that. But yeah, and then of course there's stuff that I can't carry, in New
Yeah,
York. Living in Wisconsin, as soon as the auto law changed, I mean, I
yeah,
bought autos. I mean, I have these really cool knives that,
yeah. You can't carry them.
that one's a little, I need to lube that one, but Jesus. Um,
Oh shit.
yeah, but this is a Kershaw launch, the Emerson collab that
Yeah,
they
yeah,
did.
yep, yep.
So
I had a
yeah,
launch like the really, really small one, but I gave
launch
it.
4. Yeah,
Yeah, I gave it. It was pretty dope actually. Like that
yeah,
thing
they're
like
great
lit
knives.
up. But I did a pass around thing called the give a knife, take a knife pass around. JT's
Hmm.
Knife Life started it, and basically sends out like a bunch of knives. And when it gets to you, you take one out that you want to keep and you put one in around the same
Oh,
value. And
that's
that's
cool.
been, yeah, it's pretty cool, man. If you check out the playlist on his channel, he's got that going on.
Oh, dude, I would
Dude,
love to jump onto that.
dude, we just did an hour.
Oh,
Isn't that
cool.
awesome?
That was
Yeah.
quick. Yeah, dude. We
Is there
didn't need
anything that
Swiss Army.
you want to plug or anything before we head on out?
Quarantine EDC on Instagram.
Yep.
I'm trying to post more regularly now.
Yep.
I also run. I cook my wife breakfast, and I post that breakfast every now and then. So Emma's Breakfast Feast on
Oh,
Instagram as well.
oh, that's what it's called.
Uh,
Emma's Breakfast Feast. Okay.
yeah, I make my
I'll
wife
put that in font
breakfast.
too. So that's
Sure,
awesome.
man.
Yeah.
But
Dude, yep.
after that, I mean, there's just stuff I want people to buy. If you don't have a vault case yet,
Yeah.
buy one. I'm not sponsored by that company. Just buy it. It's the best knife investment I've ever. It's the best knife carrier that I've ever had. It's perfect. Drink Bird Dog whiskey. And that's about it.
Dude, thanks for
Yeah.
doing this, man. It was awesome. It was
Yeah.
good to meet you.
Absolutely, bud.
If you ever want to come on, promote anything, if you ever want to talk, just hit me up. Definitely keep in
Sure.
touch with me on Instagram.
We'll do.
And yo, if you guys are ever in New York City, go to
Yeah.
Fjallraven.
Fjallraven, yeah.
Fjallraven.
Fjallraven. Look up Konkin, the square backpack. You'll find us. We're in Soho and
Yeah.
meatpacking.
Wait, how much is
and
one of those
leave it.
backpacks, by the way?
$80.
Cool. Are they dope? Like they're like.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing that we're like an American company. We have a lifetime warranty. So
Oh, sick.
zippers, seams, straps, but if you have a backpack, you should have it for 20 years.
Yeah.
That's our plan. So
nice.
yeah.
Dude, thanks for being on, man. This is your boy in the NYC. It's me, Ray, and this is the EDCCP saying peace.
Yo, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell icon so we can squad up in the comments.